Charlie Anteby here with the Charlie in the Morning Show. How's everybody doing? I want to talk about July 6th, by the way, 2022. I'm from Brooklyn. You know, sometimes we gotta run, sometimes we gotta stand our ground. The topic today is how to survive in the world. Maybe some of my stories are a little bit outdated, but I'm gonna give them to you anyway. Four exactly that come to mind. I might even try and give them in chronological order. When I was a young man, we traveled to see some friends up in Boston. The boys were in college, there was some partying going on. I went with a friend of mine, we'll just use first names. His name was Joey. We were in a club, everybody was getting crazy and wild and having a good time. I had some sort of interaction with a girl in the club. It didn't go well. I walked away from that and I went into the bathroom. Next thing I know, this big guy comes into the bathroom and he followed me in there and he says to me, you got a problem? And I said, this guy's going to kill me right now, you know? And 1 second later, the door opens to the bathroom, and there's my friend Joey. And in those days, you're talking about 1978, 79, 80, 81, I don't know. He's wearing a V-neck white T-shirt that he probably bought it from Fiorucci's in those days. It had lip marks, kisses all over the shirt in gray and pink, or gray and red. And he's standing at the bathroom door, and he don't know what he walked into. And I says, yeah, I got a problem. My problem is this guy over here. His hands are deadly weapons in 48 of the 50 states, and he still can't control himself. Luckily for us, Massachusetts is not one of those states. Anyway, what do you want to do about all this? And the guy turned around, he looked at Joey, he looked at me. He probably could have killed both of us. But I threw the right line out there, and I probably put the word F in F, 50 states, 12 times in the sentence that I'm leaving out because this is a family show over here. And he answered me, oh, F you guys, and he walked out the door. And Joey looked at me and says, what the hell just happened? I says, don't worry about it, it's over. And we got home to New York in one piece, and nobody got damaged, and nobody got swung at, and nobody got hit once, and nobody got anything. And I was probably wrong. I'm going to admit it. It's 45 years later, almost. I was probably wrong. I could have been a little nicer to the guy's girlfriend. And I attribute the fact that I'm from Brooklyn, that I was a fast talker, that I knew how to talk fast, I knew how to talk tough, to the fact that I survived the incident. Another time, as we mentioned in yesterday's episode, I did live in Georgia. It's 2 times in Georgia things happened, you know. I was on a date. I took her to brunch. We went into Atlanta, and I used to go to I think it was the Hyatt in Atlanta. I don't know. It was 1980, whatever it was. Maybe it was the Hilton, the Hyatt. They had a very fancy Sunday brunch in those days. And the truth, I'm thinking back now, I don't think it was there. I think it was one of these places off the highway. It was a restaurant that had a nice Sunday brunch. And I took the girl. It wasn't a hotel. It was just one of these places. Like a restaurant, fancy restaurant with a nice brunch. I'm 20 years old. And there's a little bit of a mumble that the Evil Knievel is in the place having his brunch. And we go walk past him, and he says something to the girl that I'm with. And I try to be nice about it, and I says, because it was slightly vulgar. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's my sister you're talking to. I appreciate if you could, right?" And over there, they have something called, like a friend of mine once said to me, we were talking about this third guy, and she said, he's gay, he's out of the closet. I have nothing against gays at all. There's my disclaimer. I says, I don't know that. She says, where's your gaydar? I says, gaydar? There's such a thing as gaydar? That's a word? She says, yeah, of course. You have none, she tells me. In Georgia, in those days, until today I'm sure, they have something called Judar. They know if you're Jewish or not. So I'm telling the guy, the girl's my sister. He knows she ain't my sister. He knows I'm a Jew, and she's not a Jew, and she's not my sister. And he looks back at her and he says, what are you doing with this effing Jew? But he didn't say effing. And now I said, now you went too far. I don't know if you came here to get hurt today. This is Evel Knievel. This is a guy who drives his motorcycle over 70 cars and lands and drives into a circle and stops the motorcycle, gets up and takes a bow. Over 70 cars, he drives his motorcycle. Broke every bone in his body 4 times. His arms were the size of my waist in those days. I was like a 32 waist. I weighed 147 pounds. I was 5'11 and a half. And when he heard that, he got up. And when he got up, I picked up the nearest chair and threw it at him. And he went like this. It was like I threw this bottle of water at him. I threw a chair at the guy. Meant nothing. So what do? I started kind of backing up and picking up more furniture and throwing it at him, and he's going to come at me. And now his entourage and a bunch of other guys jumped on him. It's like 10 guys holding him back. He goes like this, they could fall off of him, off the guy. And I'm screaming, let me at him, I'll kill him, as there's a couple of guys holding me. But they're pulling me back, and I'm not resisting too much. I'll kill the son of a bitch. I'll kill him. Let me at this guy. You're a dead man, I'm yelling at him. Meanwhile, he's getting crazy, and there's 10 guys holding him. And he's breaking free for a minute, and they're jumping back on him. I end up behind the bar. I'm throwing freaking bottles at the guy. Okay? Anything to stop him from coming at me. But my mouth is not backing down. I'm not, I'm scared, don't kill me, Mr. Knievel, sir. Okay? I'm going to kill this guy. You let me at him. You let me go. I'm going after him. And sure enough, they called the cops. And the cops came. And the whole thing got broken up. And the restaurant knew me, and the restaurant knew him, and the damage was okay. Nobody was complaining about that. And they said to me, do you want to press charges? And they said to him, do you want to press charges? And the way we were, excuse me for the acid reflux. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be an entertainer here. The way this thing went down is they said if you don't press charges, he's not pressing charges, and vice versa. Let's keep it out of the press. And that was the story. We let it go. There was another time, and I know I'm out of time over here. The second story took too long. I'm in a bar in Georgia. Now it's a little quaint off the highway bar. It's late at night. And I'm talking to the guy next to me, and there happens to be, it was one of those kind of bars where the girls are dancing on the stage behind the bar. You have your money in front of you, give me another beer, they take another $1.25 or something, you know. I lived in Georgia. I'm trying to, kill some time at night before I go back to work again the next morning. And all of a sudden, the guy who's sitting on my side over here, on my left, says, let me ask you a question. With a southern accent. I says, sure, ask away. He says, how come you're Jewish? I'm going to go for part 2 tomorrow. Hold on.